Hello everyone, welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. In this one, talking about what happens when the narcissist realizes you're done. Because it gets to a certain point in the relationship where you're just fed up. You've had enough. You don't want to do it anymore. You're tired, exhausted. You've tried everything already. You've done everything you can to make it better, to make it right, to try and make them happy, to fix things. And they've just been devaluing you for such a long time, just making you feel like you're nobody, you're nothing, you're not good enough. And so it gets to a point where you just kind of give up on them. You just think, what's the point of even trying then? And of course, it makes perfect sense. If you're no good for them, if you're not good enough, then why shouldn't you pull away? Why shouldn't you come back to yourself? But this is it. Just because you say you're done, it doesn't mean they are going to acknowledge or respect it. It doesn't mean that they're done with you. Because remember, we're talking about people who are lacking empathy, self-absorbed. All they care about is themselves. When did they ever care about your feelings, your needs? But of course I get it, because they showed us this false character at the beginning, and many of us, we may have this idea in our minds that if we just sacrifice enough, if we just run ourselves into the ground, then eventually they're gonna see it. They're gonna see what they've been doing to you, how they've affected you, how they've ruined your life, how you tried everything to make them happy. They're gonna see that, and then they're gonna be there for you. And of course, it's nice to think that somewhere in there's a heart, there's an ounce of empathy for you. They're never going to be that way. And they're just going to end up destroying you. And this is why, it's unfortunate, those of us who stay in it that long, still believing in the mask to some extent, thinking that there's an ounce of empathy in there somewhere. There's a human. There's someone who can still care. If the situation calls for it, if it gets that bad. But no, they won't. And they won't pull back. They won't cut it off with the abuse. All these individuals care about is if they're gonna get what they want or not. And typically they're not gonna take no for an answer. If they can see that you're still able to take care of yourself to some degree, then they're gonna want more. They're gonna want more of your energy, your attention, validation, money, because they're gonna see you and how you're growing, you're healing, you're moving on. So they're not just gonna accept that you say that you're done. Because what about them now? You're meant to be their source of supply. And so Some of them may see it as though they just need to fine-tune their manipulation. They may see it as though you just need something from them because, they're so wonderful. They're such amazing people. You just need a bit of love bombing. You just need a gift. You just need a hug. That's what you need from them. And then you'll be back doing for them again, giving to them, worrying about them, caring about them. If that doesn't work, some of them may play the victim. They may start acting like you abandoned them. You abandoned your duties when you should have been serving them. They may use scare tactics. Or they may just play the victim, trying to get you to feel bad for them, giving you sob stories. They may even exaggerate it. They may use fake crises, fake emergencies, making you think that they're really in trouble. They really need your help. If that still doesn't work, they may try other things to just stir up certain emotions in you. They may try and provoke jealousy. They may flaunt their new supply, make you feel like you're missing out on something. Again, it's just to get you to invest more of yourself. That's all they care about. That's all they want, is more of you, more supply. But if none of these tactics work, it can get very dangerous for you. When you say that you're done, when you cut them off, they may escalate it. They may use threats, intimidation, force, coercive control, legal and financial manipulation, smear campaigns, assassinating your character, ruining your reputation, isolating you, sabotaging you. They may do all of these things. And it's all about control. Because once there was a time when you were their little puppet, where when they said jump, you would say how high. You would never say that you're done to them. And so they're looking at it like, this is something new. This is something that they haven't seen before. They haven't seen you do. How can you just be done? In their minds, you are meant to be the eternal. You don't ever really need anything. I mean, they can just give the manipulation, go back and forth between the love bombing, devaluation, maybe just tweak it a little bit. But there should never be a time where you are done, you are fed up. But you got to go and take some time out. But you're throwing in the towel. Does it make sense to them? To them, you're just kind of like, they don't even really view you as a real person, as human. You're just an object, an appliance. You're just a robot, a puppet. And that's how they've always got to have you under control. They could just push your buttons and make you do what they want. Notice how they always do things on cue, trigger you in certain ways, get you to jump, react when they need you to. They're not ever thinking of you as a person. It's got nothing to do with action. They never care about your emotions, your needs. None that matters to them. And so, of course, when you say that you're done, I mean, you're really just setting a boundary there. It's new to them. And they're just looking at it as though it's just a glitch in the code. It's just an error. And they just have to refine their manipulation to override it, to pull you back in, to get you doing and serving them again. That's how they see it. They're not ever thinking about it as though it actually means anything. Like, now they've got to stop, now they've got to listen, now they've got to care. No, they're never looking at it that way. It's only when they physically cannot regain access to you, when you have strong boundaries, support networks, when you enforce the law, when there's actual real consequences, they could get in trouble, then they'll start to listen. Then they won't mess around with you anymore. But if they feel like they can still manipulate you, they can still reel you back in, your words don't mean anything to them. What does it matter if you say that you're done? It means nothing. And if anything, it's kind of like, well, you put a little bit of a boundary. What's the boundary? Just your words. You say, I'm done. It's kind of like you build a wall out of cardboard. The narcissist sees it. It amuses them a little bit. You might see the narcissistic smirk. And then they go and they just kick it right down, step over it, get back to doing what they were doing before. That's how they look at it. They just see it as a joke. It's something to laugh about. It's amusing to them. They see it as though all they got to do is just refine the manipulation, maybe a bit of love bombing. If that doesn't work, play the victim. Provoke a bit of jealousy in you, you'll be right back. They'll have you back under their control again. And if none of that works, all they got to do is up their game. Threats, intimidation, coercion, making false accusations, false reports about you, sabotaging you, especially financially. Then you've got to go right back to them. So they don't see it as though there's any way for you to get out of it. For you to just say that you're done. For you to actually walk away, escape. Typically the narcissist, they're not going to be seeing it that way. It's just going to be amusing to them. Because they have all of these different tactics, all of these different ways to pull you back in. And to make it so that you will need them, so that you can't just go off without them. Now, of course, if they start to see things where it's like you're making new friends and you're dating again, move into a different area, getting a job, making money, to a certain point where it's like you'll never need them again. That's when that amusement, that ride, that game is over. They're not seeing it as a joke anymore then. Now it starts to get serious. Now they know they are in a bit of trouble. And again, that's when you have to be very careful, because typically they're going to start smearing you, bad-mouthing you to people, to your new friends, your new partner, trying to sabotage the relationship. Maybe trying to get you fired from your job. Be creating scams. Just creating problems for you and trying to get you to overspend.